Here are some of the things I'll be showing you today. Some of them will be craft with me if we end up having time for some spontaneous crafting. Some things were already handmade by me. I think you may recognize that from one of my shorts, the little blue necklace there. And then here are just some things that I've had hanging around for a while. If you remember a while back, I had that ATS box that I found, and these are the last items from that box, I think. And oh, hello. That's all of those items that I'll be showing today. And so let's just jump right into it. If there's anything you're interested in buying from today's video, just send me an email, skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com, and we will work it out there. And if everything ships out monthly at the end of the month, unless you need it sooner than that, then just request ASAP shipping in your email, and it'll go out within 48 hours. So first off, we're just like going right in. This is a loft necklace. Here's the hang tag on it. This is a gold tone large lobster clasp, and these little thick rings. There's some minor scratching right there, so there is some wear, but I don't see any tone loss. I just really only see the surface scratches. And then you have this faux leather strap that comes down on both sides, and the length is a little bit adjustable, I guess. Well, I don't know, there may not be room to clamp that into this ring. You may just have to clamp it into that one. But when you come down to the end of the faux leather, then you have this chainmail with this cha-cha style, little rectangular shaped, I don't know what color you would call that. It's sort of a chalcedony type of color, but it's got AB coating, but it's glass, it's not stones. But they're really pretty. They're this sort of, I don't really even know what to call that color. Sort of like a really light beige, translucent, milky color. And then this gold tone chainmail, and you can see here, I don't see any tone loss at all on this. It looks bright and new. The surface scratching here, some things can be new even though they have a little bit of surface scratching like that, because some of that can be picked up on a display shelf. And I don't know if that's the case here or not. This faux leather on the inside where it would be touching skin doesn't show any sign of dirt or wear on it. So it was either worn maybe on top of a blouse where it didn't come in contact with skin, or maybe it is new. But it's really pretty. Let's lay it out so you can get the overall effect, the overall look of it. The faux leather is gray, and then here are these gorgeous stones hanging cha-cha style on this gold tone chainmail. Very, very pretty. The length on this is a nice kind of chunky piece. The length on it, the drop length anyway, is 9.5 inches, and that's from inside the clasp down to here. That's 9.5 inches. And the chainmail section in the front is another, I don't know, maybe a couple of inches. Let's see. Yeah, it's about 2 inches long, the sort of collar chainmail part right here. But you have 9.5 inches of opening from the clasp to here. And this gorgeous beauty right here is going to start us off. I think we're getting started off with a bang with this pretty piece. It's going to be number 1. And we're going to do that one for $5. And it is so, so pretty. Did you happen to catch my, put in the comments if you happen to catch my storytime video that went up yesterday morning. If you didn't, I'll try to put a link to it in my description of this video. But yeah, we have a little family mystery that's about, what did I say, 73 years old? Something like that? 53? I don't remember. I can't do math in my head. Or I can't do it in my head quickly, that is. Yeah, jump in there into the comments and let me know if you saw that and what your thoughts are. So here's another sort of cha-cha style on chainmail. This one is silver tone, and I think it's not branded. Yeah, no one gets credit for this, but it's really pretty. No tone loss on this one either. You can see all of that. It looks nice and just excellent, excellent condition. A gorgeous chainmail. And then the beads on it are these kind of gunmetal. Well, actually, I take that back about the tone loss. There's a little tiny bit you can see in places right here on the back. A little bit of tone loss there. But it is on the back of the chainmail, so it wouldn't be evident when you're wearing it. But the beads on it are these little faceted, let's see, I think these are acrylic, the little clear ones. And the gunmetal colored ones, I think, yeah, those are glass. Let me take a closer look at these little clear ones too. Yeah, those are acrylic, and then the gunmetal colored ones are glass. Yeah. So, and what I'm checking there is acrylic is going to have sort of a duller sound when you tap it with metal, and glass will have more of a kind of a, I don't know how to describe it, but it'll have a less acrylic sounding sound. But here it is. It's a nice wide collar style. And you have all the gunmetal beads right here in the middle, and then going up the two sides, you have the clear beads, and then kind of interspersed with some more of the gunmetal colored beads. And they're all faceted, so they're very sparkly. As they, move around, they're very sparkly. And then you have all of this unembellished chainmail going up each side. And it is unbranded. I'll give you a drop length on it. It's 7.5 inches. And that, again, that's like the last one. It's from the inside of the clasp to the inside of the necklace right here. 7.5, and then you get a 3-inch extender on that. The width of this collar part is a little bit more than 2 inches, maybe about 2 1/4. But there it is, really, really gorgeous, sparkly, and I don't think that would be over the top unless you're in an extremely conservative office. I think this would be even appropriate for office wear. I think it's gorgeous, especially a good date night piece. If you do work in a conservative office, this would be good for date night or just going out to meet friends or something like that. Very nice, elegant, and sparkly without, in my opinion, without being overdone. And that one's going to be number 2. And we'll do that one for $4 because of the little bit of tone loss right here on the back of the chainmail, mostly just right there in the center. And this one's kind of heavy too. Here we are, number 2 for $4. And I might have to get out the gem for this. This is, I don't know, is that acrylic? It doesn't really feel cold. Yeah, that's acrylic. You can see little flakes down inside. It's a really nice faux stone, but those are acrylic. And then these are sort of milky, very similar to that first necklace. That type of, I think those are acrylic stones also. I think all of these are acrylic. got a little combination of glass and acrylic here. Yeah. And then you have little rhinestones, little prong set rhinestones. You can see where they're tied down with thread in between to this 2 rows of chains on the back, and then some more chain mail. Very light wear. And looking closely, no real tone loss. What maybe looks a little bit like wear right here on these tiny chains could just be where it needs polishing. And I'll do that. There's a little tone loss right here on the clasp. So you'll get a deal because of all this tone loss, but it'll be a deal on a very pretty necklace. There's a lot of texture. If you like the understated earth tones, you get that in here, plus a little bit of sparkle. And there is some tone loss that you can see on this bottom row of chainmail if you look closely. But once that gets polished up, that won't be as evident, and I honestly think it won't even detract. Even if it still shows, I don't think it'll really detract from the look of the piece. This is just such a gorgeous necklace with all the texture, all the different types of beads on it. Very nice. And when it hangs, when you're wearing it, it'll be like that with a little row of rhinestones right there at the very top. And then a little faceted beads here, these faux stone little acrylic beads here, and then the dangly beads right there. And these are that sort of milky color, alternated with these kind of mystic topaz colored, just hanging down in between. And that's gorgeous. Now this one does have a hang tag, I just noticed. Oh, and it's loft. It's a loft piece. So I'll polish it up and clean it up. And let's see, the drop on it is 8 inches and there is no extender. So the length is the length. There we go. And because of the wear on that one and the tone loss, we're just going to do that one for $4. That one's number 3. Okay. There we go. Okay, number 4 is this hematite. And there's this spiral design here with these little jade pieces in between, little quartz pieces and silver tone little ball beads in between these little triangles of hematite. And they're put together in this sort of rope spiral pattern. And then you have these little barrel-shaped beads in between, all hematite, and then a barrel screw clasp. Just simple and pretty. And that's the look right there of that one. And the drop on it is almost 8 inches, about 7 3/4. And here's a close-up of how those beads all look together. Really nice, really nice. There's a little bit of dust down in between these beads, and I can clean that up, which I will do. I'll put that in the ultrasonic, and I think that'll take care of all of that, and it won't damage the hematite or anything. So we have a nice number 4 right here, and we will do that one for, I don't know, let's stick with $4. 4 for 4. I do have the gem-eye out, and I have my testing acids out. Okay, number 5 is going to be this that that I showed on a short, asking why do they call it a pinch bail, and that's because this bail that this little glass bead is hanging from is called a pinch bail because of how you put it together. And in that video it shows how you do it. You can see the two sides right there. You open it up, put your bead in, and then just pinch it shut really. And then I go over it with giving it a little bit of a harder pinch with my needle nose pliers, just to make sure I have it snug and that the stone won't fall out. And then I put it on this pretty silver tone S chain that I got in a lot from Gigi's Gems. And I'll have another Gigi's Gems lot coming up very soon. I'm getting a Valentine themed one from her, and hopefully I'll be able to show that in time for you to actually order and get your things maybe in time for Valentine's. So we'll see. Hopefully I ordered it from her in time to show it to you for that. But back to this one. I should have watched that short, or should have written something down on this bag maybe, because I really don't remember the price I offered in the short. I think I may have offered $8. So what I'm going to offer here, this one's going to be number 5. And I guess you would like some measurements before we talk about any of that. There is not an extender, so the length is the length. And it is, it's about an 8 1/4 inch drop. Actually, that wasn't stretched out all the way. Let me try that again. About an 8 1/2 inch drop. And then the pendant is just over an inch long from the top of the bail to the bottom of the bead. And then it's this gorgeous sort of topaz blue color. And it's very pretty. And so we're going to do it for $6. That's all handmade by me. A bead I already had, a chain I got from Gigi's Gems, and the pinch bail is something I bought at the craft supply. And then I put it all together for this necklace. Now, if the price I offered in the short was higher than $6, I'm going to, of course, honor this. So, and if it's lower than $6, I'll honor that. So, just let me know if I need to honor a lower price, and then give me a screenshot of where I had the lower price. But here it is, number 5 for $6. Now, number 6. This one came in that LDTS lot that I lost and then found. It looks relatively new. It's these huge purple acrylic beads that are about maybe a 1/2 inch across. And then you have another smaller one at the end of the extender. It's choker length. This one is, let's see, the drop on it is 6 1/2 inches. But then you're going to get another 2 inches of drop length from this extender. The extender is 4 inches, which gives you 2 more inches of drop length. And there it is, this vibrant purple on these large beads. Then the extender is silver tone, and it looks nice. There's no scratching or anything. I think this was a new piece. It doesn't even feel dirty. But no tone loss, no wear, no scratches really that I can see. And there's not a maker. But that's it. Just vibrant, possibly new, I would say likely new, purple large bead choker. And that one might need a larger bag, I'm thinking. And the thing with the larger bags is that they don't have that little white area right here that you can write on that keeps it from smudging off. And then I'll end up with Sharpie ink all over my fingers. Okay, number 6, we'll do these large purple beads right here for $3. Likely new, so if purple is your color, this is a good deal for you, especially if you like nice, bold statement pieces like this. I think this will look really nice with just a plain t-shirt, or even a graphic t-shirt, or tank top, or you could even dress it up. Okay, number 7. We do have another large bead necklace coming up later, but it's covered up by some other things right now. Let's see, number 7 is this little necklace. When I saw it, I actually thought this was the front, and you can actually wear it this way if you like. It's got this open heart, and it's silver tone. I'll go ahead and give you the length since I have it stretched out here. Well, I'll have it stretched out, but not in the right place to measure it for you. So let me change that. There we go. So without the extender, the drop on this one is about 8 1/4 inches, and you have a 2-inch extender, which means another 1 inch of drop length. And it's all silver tone. The chain is in great condition. Clasp is in great condition. The extender is. And the pendant is. Now this is actually the back, and you can wear it back facing if the front doesn't apply to you, because the front actually is Mary Kay, and I guess this is a maybe a prize for meeting a sales goal or something like that, or maybe it's just to identify the wearer as a Mary Kay seller or something like that. See, it needs to be polished up, which I'll take care of, but it has these little rhinestones on the front. And then there's the Mary Kay right there. And there's not a maker on it or anything like that. No precious metal marks, which I wouldn't expect there to be. But that's our Mary Kay necklace. And that one is number 7. And we'll do it for... oh goodness, let's do that one also for $3. And again, if the Mary Kay side does not apply to you, but you just like the style of it, you can always just wear it, you know, back facing, because the back actually looks like it could be a front also. It would probably be neat, I would think, to hang little charms from this, hang little like birthstone colored charms for a mother to have that. If you're crafty, that would be an idea for you. There we go, number 7 for $3. Number 8, this one is a branded piece from... who knows? Because so many makers use this as their hang tag, where it's just a little circle with a rhinestone in it. So many makers use that you don't know who it is when you see that one. So let's clasp this one without the extender. And then we'll talk all about it. There's all these shades, like a little faux malachite. All these stones feel like acrylic. Now, I guess this is supposed to be a faux malachite on these two here. But then you have blues and greens, and then these little clear rhinestones, and it's all set on this matte silver tone. And this really cool chain. I like these oval, sort of flat. You can see how the links are flat right there, but then like kind of smushed out ovals. And this has a really nice look to it. Nice vibrant colors. The drop on it is 8 inches. The extender is 3.5 inches. And let's take a close look at these vibrant colors. Nice and pretty. And take a close-up look at the back. I already showed you the back a minute ago, but give you a close-up look at the construction. It's put together. Each little, I guess, sort of panel, we'll call it, is linked together with rings. And here's the basic look when you're wearing it. And there it is. Very pretty. That one is going to be number 8. And we'll do that one for $4. Okay, moving along, number 9. This is lots of vibrant colors. That purple, the large beads. Let's see, I might need to clean one of these little, yeah, that comes right off. So I'll just clean that up some more. There we go. So we have the purple large beads, and then we just had that blue and green necklace, and then here's this bright, bright sunshine yellow enamel on gold tone. Let's see if there's a maker. Nope, no maker on this one. And let's see, it looks like it's clasped in the wrong place, so let me move that. It was clasped on the necklace rather than on the, at the end where it should be. So let me give you a drop length on it, and then we'll talk all about it and take up close looks. Okay, it is an 8.5 inch drop and a 2-inch extender, and we're looking at a gold tone Rolo chain, which looks to be in really nice condition. Yeah, that looks to be like it's in a very nice condition. And then you have these little shapes, sort of almost ginkgo leaf kind of shapes. And then the little circles at the top. Just a vibrant, lemony sunshine yellow. It's not a neon yellow at all, but it is a very vibrant, bright yellow. And then there it is on the back. It's a close look at the chain. As I'm doing this little drive-by on it, I'm not really noticing any significant wear. Seeing a little bit of scratching on it. I don't see any tone loss at all. And right there on the clasp, I see just a little bit of scratching there. So I'll give this a nice wipe down. And that's a pretty one. That's a really pretty one. That one's going to need a bigger bag also. And that one is number 9. And we'll do number 9. Let's just do that one for $3. A nice deal. Now, there are these little black specks on it, but those are just dirt, and I'm going to take care of that when I give the whole thing a wipe down. I hope everyone's 2026 is getting off to a nice start. It is for me, partly because I get to show jewelry to all of you, which I really enjoy doing. Okay, number 9 for $3. A number 10. Oh, this one's pretty. This one is a loft piece, and it's gunmetal, or maybe like a pewter looking type of metal. And then you have these smoky gray rhinestones, clear rhinestones, little faux pearls that have sort of a grayish tint. These little leaves, these are not missing stones. This is just, they're just made to look like little leaves, I suppose. They never had stones in them. You can tell by how it's constructed. And that is just very simple and elegant and beautiful. That is really, really pretty. This one is my taste. I would probably wear this with a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans. And throw on a denim jacket with that. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's again those oval, sort of smushed flat, but oval links. But these are, of course, are smaller than that last one. A spring ring closure. There is no extender. This one's a shorter one, but it's not super short. It's an 8-inch drop, and the length is the length. There is no extender, and there it is. Sort of a floral almost kind of feel to it, even though nothing is really shaped like a flower, because you have these little leaf shaped things here, and then these little rhinestones here could look like petals if you want to look at them that way. But that's just a gorgeous piece. So let's take a close-up look before I put that one into a bag with a number. Close-up look at all of these little settings. Very elegant and nice. Love this one. Okay, that's going to be number 10. And that one is $5 for the loft necklace. We're 1/3 of the way through, officially right now. And there we go, number 10 for $5. Okay, number 11. Let's see, I might want to test that. So I'm going to turn on the Gem-Eye. I wasn't sure if I would have stones to test, so I didn't already get it out. So I'm just going to chat with you while I get it out of its little storage case and get it ready. And now turning it on. And I'll bring you along for the calibration. It's doing its warm up first. We're waiting for a blue and a green light to come on right here. And there they are. So now I'll put it on this glass, and then when it comes down to the glass range, then it'll be time for the next step in calibration. I really like the Gem-Eye because it's about half the price of a Presidium, but it's just as accurate, but it has its own little, ways about it, its own little personality, which I'm still learning about, because I never have sat down and read the entire instruction book, which I guess I should. Here's part 2 of the calibration. Put it on the simulant. When it goes up to the calibrate line, then that means it's ready. And then they have this oxidation cleaner card that you do the probe around on that, and that cleans oxidation off the probe for more accurate reading. That was my alarm telling me it's time to cook dinner, but dinner will be a little late today. So here we go. Before we even talk about the necklace, I'm going to go ahead and see if this is a stone. Okay, no, I'm thinking it's just glass. It had a small look of quartz about it, and that's what made me want to get out the Gem-Eye. So yeah, that is just glass. We're going to keep the Gem-Eye ready just in case something else comes along. So this one has a maker on it. What does that say? Oh, David Aubrey. I've heard of that brand before. That's a decent brand. It's a nice brand. It's not super, super high end. But what we have here is, I suppose, little glass seed beads. And then these little kind of coral orange colored beads. And I think they're glass as well. And then this little rectangle, which is glass. And then here's how it looks. It's a cute little pendant, the way it's all put together. There we go. That's how it looks when you're wearing it. This reminds me of the beach. Okay, it has a shepherd's hook clasp right there. Well, there you go. And let's see, let me go ahead and give you a length on it before I undo it. The drop length is pretty short, actually. It's about a 6-inch drop length, but you have a pretty generous extender. The extender is over 5 inches. So a 6-inch drop, but then, let me get that unhooked. If you put it all the way at the end of the extender, that gives you a drop of, should be around 8 inches. Yeah, it has a drop of about 8.5 inches when it's all the way at the end of the extender. So the extender is sort of this brass tone, and then you have your shepherd's clasp, or shepherd's hook clasp on it. This pretty David Aubrey necklace. Sort of a boho feel to it, or sort of like a beach kind of feel to it, in my opinion. Needs a little bit of a wipe down, and I will give it that. This is number 11, and this is not a super high end, but I can't really remember what their normal price point even is, but that won't matter here anyway. We're going to do this one for, let's just do it for $3. Actually, let's do it for $2. What a David Aubrey little necklace. There we go. 11 for $2. Okay, number 12 is a little set. This is, it looks like sort of aged brass on this clasp right here, but you get a bracelet and a necklace. There are these nice peridot colored glass beads that are all faceted. These gold tone little curved tube beads in between. And the necklace has a drop of about 9.5 inches. The bracelet, let's clasp that back so I can give you a size on it. The bracelet is about 6 3/4. This will be really nice for spring. This just looks very nice and springy. Here we go, and that set is just super pretty. Let's give you an up close look at it. Nice sparkly peridot green type of color with these glass faceted beads. And for the set, that's going to be number 12. And we'll do that entire set right there. Let's do that for $3. The bracelet and the matching necklace. That just is screaming to be worn with somebody's nice springtime outfit. Or if you like green, anytime. But it just looks very springy to me. Okay, next. Here's another green, but it's a different kind of green. I get these once in a while, and it's these sort of silk thread wrapped beads. And they're a very bright, kind of a lime green, not neon at all, but a different type of green. Like here it is next to the last thing I showed you. So a different type of green. but it's not neon at all. Really pretty. I like the shading and sort of tiger eye effect that you get from these little silk thread wrapped beads. I'm not 100% certain that this is silk, but it does feel like it, and it's very, very smooth. And spaced in between are these little gold tone beads. And I don't see a clasp, so this just goes over your head. And it's plenty long enough for that. The drop on it is 14 inches. And it's beautiful. Look at that effect. Almost like a cat eye effect from those silky threads. We'll say at least silky and maybe actually silk. So there we are. That's a beauty. Really, really like that one. Green is one of my favorite colors. So this is number 13, and we'll do 13 also for $3. Love this one. Really love that. Okay, number 14 is 1928, and it's gunmetal and these black acrylic stones. Has a very Victorian look to me. It's beautiful. Just look at that. That's gorgeous. I love the look of older 1928, like the oldest 1928. And if 1928 can be identified, if it doesn't have a hang tag, it'll have this sort of almost iconic for them swirl pattern on the back. But there it is. Here's what the front looks like. These little settings are so pretty. So pretty, and I like the way that just hangs, like when you're wearing it. Love how these, let me get that flipped back over. I love how these little teardrops come down like that with the little bottom curved pieces in between. So pretty. And the chain is this really nice chain. These tiny bars just linked together with rings. Then here's the clasp. I really see no wear at all on this clasp. I don't even see any scratching on this clasp. This could be like a new old stock or something. Could be. When I say something is new, when I'm showing it, when it's one of these lots, I really don't have a way of guaranteeing that. I can just give you my impressions of it. And my impression of this one is that it could be new. Number 14, that one will be. And for the beautiful 1928 gunmetal and black acrylic stones necklace, that one's going to be $5. And it's beautiful. There we go. So now number 15. This one is faceted black beads, tiny faceted black beads with a glass rhinestone that has a sort of gunmetal colored, dark silver tone colored backing on it so that it reflects on the front. And of course, you can wear either side, looks pretty. You could wear it either way. You got a little rondelle and a bicone here. Then this cap, which leads down to this long tassel. And all of it is black glass beads, all faceted. Have this tiny, tiny chain here, a little bit of copper showing through, but that's around the back, so wouldn't really show. And honestly, it's not real noticeable in the first place, but even if it does show, I don't think it detracts from the look of it in this case. Let's see, the length on it, the drop length is 15.5 inches. And that's from the clasp to here. So that's 15.5 inches, and the extender is, let's stretch that all the way out. The extender is 3.5 inches. And then the pendant, and what I'm calling the pendant is everything from here to the bottom of the tassel. That is 6.5 inches. So from your 15.5 inch drop, or 15-inch drop, down to, and then plus that drop, you have 6, was it 6 or 6.5? 6.5 inches here. And since I'm going back and forth about the drop, let me just measure that again. Yes, 15.5 inch drop, then 6.5 inches from the top of the, what I'm calling the pendant, to the bottom. That's 6.5, and then you have 15.5 inches of drop, and then your 3.5 inches extender. That's what was throwing me, is all those halves. But here we go. Let's do a quick drive-by of the pendant part with that rondelle and that pretty, pretty bead right here. This is acrylic. And then another little rondelle and little bicone. This pave set. Little cone here, leading down to this gorgeous glass faceted beads tassel. Very pretty. That's another one that I really, really like. I'm not a big tassel wearer, but I do think they look nice. That one's number 15, and it's unbranded. So someone should get the credit for that, but it is unbranded. So number 15, we're going to do that one for, I'll do that one for $4. Okay, I'm having trouble getting it into the bag. There we go. There we go, and this is our halfway point. Okay, this is, if it's not, it certainly looks like it. It's called Peruvian wire work. These little beads are glass that are set in here, these teardrop shapes. And it's called Peruvian wire work because apparently they do this in Peru, and they make these kinds of designs. They have these tiny little things right here, right there, those little drop things. And then you have these two beads. You can see how that spiraled around to create a setting for this little glass teardrop. And then these other little elements right here. And there's just so much artistry put into that. That's what the entire pendant area sort of looks like. It's hard to show you draping it over my fingers like that. The rest of the chain is beads that are strung onto wire. And then shepherd's hook clasp. And normally these are either sterling or they have some amount of silver in them. So we'll test it just to see. I'll just check the shepherd's hook right here at the top. No, I don't think so. Let's check part of the setting here at the bottom. Or I'm going to check this this part right here. Yeah, I don't think so, but let's see what the acid says. Because even if these are not sterling, sometimes they do have a little bit of silver in them. I'm not seeing any blue at all on that. So no sterling on it, but it is what's called the Peruvian wire work. And let's get that reclasped so I can lay it out and show you what it looks like when you wear it. As much as I'm able to anyway in this small light box. So that's how the pendant part hangs. And then the part that goes up the sides right there. And then here's a close-up of the whole pendant area. It's really, really pretty. These go a little bit higher, I know, when they're sterling, of course, but this one is not. Number 16. We're gonna do that. Let's do that for $6. A lot of work, as you can see, like this is all hand done. So a lot of work goes into making these. It's really gorgeous. If you like boho style, this is probably your style, or would fit with your style probably. Okay, number 16 for $6. Okay, number 17. This is, I think, unbranded. Yeah, it's unbranded, but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Gold tone, little faux pearls, little flat, like coin pearls, but they are faux. And then these little acrylic amber colored beads in between. It needs a cleaning, which I will give it, but I still think it has plenty of life left in it. Here's the clasp. The clasp has no scratches on it that I can see. But there's a little wear, I think, to these little acrylic beads. Maybe. Let's make sure those are acrylic. They might be glass. Yeah, those are acrylic. And just a little wear on those. And let's see. These gold champagne colored little faux pearl discs. Little faux coin pearls. Those all look like they're in great shape. But because there is a little wear, which I don't think it renders this unwearable, really. I really don't. I would wear this. There's sort of a pinkish cast. I don't know if it's showing up on screen or not, to these little faux coin pearls. This is really pretty. This has a drop of 7.5 inches and a extender of 2 inches. So 7.5 inches drop, and then you get another 1 inch of drop length with this 2-inch extender. And then up close, here are all of those gorgeous beads. Love the color on that. I'm wearing a brown or a tan sweater today, so this would look great with what I have on. But right now, I'm wearing the Lucky Brand pearls that Christina gave me for my birthday. say number 17, this will be. And we'll do it for just $2, just because there's that wear on those little amber colored acrylic beads. But I still think there's plenty of life left in this one. Number 17 for $2. Number 18, here's the other large plastic beads I was telling you about. Black and white alternating and graduated. This is a little longer than choker length. It's an 8-inch drop. Sort of a copper spring ring. Copper or brass maybe? I think that's copper. And then again, just these graduated alternating black and white beads. Nice statement-y piece. This is another one that I would wear with just a white t-shirt and jeans. I think it's beautiful. I think it's fun. And if that's your style, then maybe this is the one for you. Another one that'll need a bigger bag. This is number 18. And let's see, what was the purple one? What did we do the purple one for? We did the purple one for $3, so we'll do this one also for $3. Number 18 for $3. The black and white, very fun, large acrylic beads. So I'm going to undo the clasp so I can fit that more easily into the bag. There we go. Number 18 for $3. Okay, number 19. This, I looked up this brand when I first got this. This came in one of the last thread-up 15-piece mixed boxes that I got. Don't want to go negative, but there's a reason that I stopped getting those boxes, and I detailed that in a few videos at the time that it happened. So anyway, this is one of the good pieces that came out of one of those last boxes. It's got an 8 1/4 inch drop and no extender. It's gold tone. And this is a brand that I looked up, and I cannot remember what the brand is, but I'll still, I'll give you a good price. So let's see what that stone is. I think I tested it before too, and I don't remember what the results of that test were. Okay, it goes to garnet tourmaline iolite, barely touches chrysoprase emerald. So that's where it goes on the gem eye. So this is a nice, substantial piece of gemstone. That's pretty large, as you can see here. That's, what, 2 inches across. At its widest point, it's 1 inch that way. And then there are some smaller ones, like in between, right here. So this is how it looks. It's this pretty, pretty paperclip chain that it's hanging on. Love that color. I don't know what stone that would be, being this color and showing up at that point on the gem tester. But sort of a brass tone maybe, or a really nice gold tone color. Can't really tell. But there it is. New, I believe, because it came with its bag, and I don't see any scratching on it. But the necklace and the bag you would get. And that one's going to be number 19. And we'll do it for $6. You get it with the little bag. Again, if there's anything you're interested in in this video, just contact me, skeeterjonesthings@gmail.com. We will work it out there. And then if you want it sooner than the end of the month, make sure you specify that you want ASAP shipping. Number 19 for $6. Okay, number 20. I think we're getting down to close to the things that I'm going to be crafting or polishing or something like that, or repairing. Let's see, this I think is 925. Yeah, it is. Right there's the mark. So I'll test that right here on the screen so you can see it. And there's little tiny stones that I don't know that I can test because they're so small. They might just be marcasite. Oh goodness. Let's see. Let's give those little tiny stones a try. But here's how wide the probe is. Those little tiny stones might be smaller than this probe even. Let's give it a shot. Well, I can't see the screen. There we go. Well, it was on its way to somewhere. Well, let's give it another try. It stopped on spinel there for a minute. Is this diamond? Maybe sapphire. I'm really determined to get a good reading on it now since it's going up close to the diamond range. Okay, we have diamonds. There are diamonds in this necklace. So confirmed when you hear that little beep beep and the two blue lights come on right there, that's how it confirms you have a reading for diamond. So there's tiny little diamond chips all the way around, 2 halos, and then in the center there are some more. Really hard to not touch metal. I won't make you watch a million tries of this. I did a lot more trying, but it was I just kept touching metal. But we do know that we have diamonds here. I was testing one on this outer row, and then you have 2 rows right there. Let's see if I can get focused for you. You have 2 rows of halo right here, and all of those are diamond chips. In the center, I just could not get the probe to stay on a stone without touching metal. And then you have stones right here on the bail as well. And then it's marked 925, so let's go ahead and get that tested for you. We'll test the pendant, which of course is going to be sterling because you wouldn't put diamonds into like silver tone. I don't know, I guess somebody might. I wouldn't really understand why, but now let's test this clasp. And we'll try to get a good scratch for the chain. But you have to get creative when it's a fine little chain like this. I don't know if that's a good enough scratch there for the chain, but we'll see. Is there a name on the back of this? No, it's like no one gets credit, but we'll go into detail about everything on there in just a minute. So we have the setting, the clasp, and the chain. And yes, everything's lighting up nice and blue. Yeah, there we go. So all sterling there, as I would have expected, since we've already confirmed diamonds. It wouldn't make sense for it to be set in silver tone. So we have this little bail with diamonds in it. This beautiful pendant, which is thick. But look at this lattice design around the edges. So pretty. And even a design here on the back, this little flower design. And it's open through there. And then right here, as we've already seen, the little double halo. And then this sort of starburst design around the center. And then you have your diamonds on the bail, on the double halo, and it appears right here in the center also. This is gorgeous. I don't even remember where this came from, but it's beautiful. How can I have something like this and not even remember that I have it? I'm looking for my tape measure. It was hiding behind the gem-eye. So there's not an extender. The drop is about 8 3/4. The pendant is, including the bail, is, let's see, about 3/4 of an inch. And let's just drink that in again. That's just beautiful. It really is. So gorgeous 925 diamond necklace. That's number 20. And that is going to be $25 for sterling and diamonds. It tested positive, and it has a marking right here, right there. And I think it says FAS. I can't see it very closely. Let me see if I can see what that is so I can get accurate information. Okay, I looked at it closely, and it says 925 Thailand. Where is it? Right here on the bottom it says 925 Thailand, and up here it has a logo that I don't know, that I'm not familiar with. So I'll drop a picture of it on the screen up here, and so you can see what that is. But here it is, our diamond and sterling necklace, number 20 for $25. And that is nice. So we're 2/3 of the way through. I think we have more sterling right here. Here is, you know what? I want to give somebody a deal. Let me take this back. This number 20 for 25. We're going to make that 20 for 20. Here we go. Sterling and diamonds for $20. Can't beat it with a stick. So here we go. This is sterling, but I will be testing it. Let's see. There it is, right there's the mark. And then this, I believe, is a genuine pearl. So let me get a closer look at that. Okay, it says 925 IPS. That's another one I'm not really familiar with. So we will test the chain just so you can see those results right here on the video. And this is a genuine pearl. And that is Sharpie that got on me from one of those bags. So let's test this chain, and we'll test the clasp as well. I'm expecting this to be positive just because It just has that feel. It just feels like sterling. There we go. Whenever you're scratching or making a scratch to test chain, you don't really get a nice distinct scratch. It's usually fuzzy and cloudy, or cloudy might not be the right word, but it's fuzzy like that, kind of diffuse. There we go. And then here's the kind of scratch you get from a good clasp. But let's check those out. And there they are, positive for sterling. So let's give you the stats on the genuine pearl sterling necklace. The drop is 8.5 inches and no extender. This beautiful little single pearl, very delicate, just nice and feminine looking, with the single pearl right in the center of this gorgeous sterling necklace. So this one is 21. And we'll do the sterling chain and pearl necklace. Let's see, on eBay I would probably list that for about probably $25. All right, let's do $9 on that one. Sterling and pearl. Very simple. You know, the last one's a little more elaborate. It had that chunky pendant with a lot of sterling in it and all the diamonds and everything. And then this one is just more simple, but nice with a little pearl and the sterling chain. So 21 for $9. I think more sterling maybe. This is number 22. Let's see what we have here. This is another one that I don't remember. It's on a card that looks like Gigi's Gems. Did this get separated from a Gigi's Gems lot and I didn't realize it? Let's get this untwisted off of itself. Now usually she'll have the length of a chain kind of bundled up in a little bag attached to the back of the card when it's a Gigi's Gems, to keep this from happening. So maybe this didn't come from her, but I have seen similar cards like that from her. So if you're watching, Jeanette, apologies if this was supposed to go in one of my lots from you and then I somehow let it get separated. But we're showing it today. If I can get it untangled from itself. Let's put it on pause so you don't have to watch me do all of this. Okay, done. So early in my YouTube journey, I filmed in a different room where I do now, and I had some upholstery needles, which is always, that's my fail-proof way of untangling little chains, is with upholstery needles. And I'll show you that technique sometime. I did a video early on where I demonstrated that, and I'll do it again sometime. But those needles are still upstairs is my whole point in telling you this. So I was lazy and didn't want to go up there and get those needles. So I just sat here and spent a lot more time than I would have spent going upstairs untangling this by hand. So I think this is glass, but let's see what the gem-eye says. Oh no, it's not glass. Let's see, this goes well into chrysoprase emerald and almost to the end of garnet tourmaline iolite. Barely touches tanzanite and aquamarine. So that is gorgeous. It has a very slight sort of smoky hue to it. And little marcasites around the edges. those are marcasites around the edges of that setting, pretty teardrop setting, and then a little ring that it's suspended from, a little rope design there on the bail, and then the chain has these little stations with marcasites in those. So gorgeous, probably sterling. We'll test that to make sure. Sterling chain, but look at this, a little faux toggle in the back. It's just in the very back of the necklace, like this is the center back, and it just has a little toggle bar hanging from a ring right in the center back of the necklace. So I don't see any markings anywhere on it that would indicate sterling, but we're about to test it to see. I don't see any markings on the, oh wait a minute, that looks like it's hinged. It is. Well, look at that. It is. I know what this is. Okay, that's why the toggle is there. So here we go. This is really cool. So this is one that's long. Let me tell you how long. The drop on it, as I just showed it to you, is 17 inches. So a long necklace that has this little toggle that would hang in the back and would hang down just like this, you know, at 17 inches drop, it would hang like that. But you can remove, and it secures, or it attaches very securely. So you can remove the pendant just by opening the bail right here. You see that little kind of button? It just snaps down over that little button right there. And it's very secure. Like you can pull on it a little bit and it doesn't come off easily. But then you can take it off when you intend to. It won't just pop off accidentally very, very easily, I don't think. And then this little ring that the pendant hangs from becomes the ring for this toggle bar. And then you can wear the necklace this way, and where it's just a delicate chain with stations on it. And then honestly, really, you could probably still hang the pendant from that. So that's a third way to wear it. So you could wear it like this, the way I just showed you a minute ago with it hanging from the ring, or you can double it up and wear it like this, or just take the pendant off altogether and wear it like this. So very versatile, nice and convertible, gemstone, and this is a nice size. It's about, the stone itself is about 3/4 of an inch long and about 1/2 inch across. Nicely faceted, a very kind of smoky, a very ever so slight, like greenish bluish type of hint in the color of that stone. And it's prong set. You can see the prongs right there on both sides. So the light goes through it really well. It's a beautiful, beautiful setting and a very versatile necklace. So let's check everything out. Let's check this setting. I'm excited about this one. Okay, the setting looks promising for positive. Then let's check the ring. And that looks very promising. Let's check the toggle. Same there. And then let's check the settings for these stations. If I can get a grip on it enough to make a good scratch, that is. Okay, that's the station. And then the chain, which is going to be, again, the challenge, because it's this fine chain. Okay, we'll get the best reading we can on the chain. This one is quite a find. another one that I totally forgot about. Okay, so pendant, ring, toggle bar, station, and chain. And everything is just lighting up blue. So that's a lot. There's a little bubble interfering with that one right there. So there's a lot of sterling right here. Not a lot as in weight, but a lot as in, so it's not a heavy necklace, but a lot as in all of these different elements. This is beautiful. Jeanette, please let me know if you're watching. Please let me know in the comments if you sent me this. So this is, I am excited about this. You know, you could even wear it this way. Okay, there we go. So with the toggle in the front, okay, it's all twisted on itself. Okay, there we go. With the toggle in the front, and you could even wear it doubled like that with the toggle and the toggle in the front and the pendant. If you want a lot going on in the front of the necklace right there. This is beautiful. This is absolutely stunning and quite a find. This one is, and this one, I'm gonna have to do this one for $25 because I would straight up list this for $50 if I was putting this on eBay. So let's see, I'll put all this chain down into a separate bag. And then I'll put the whole necklace in a bag with this little card, just so it won't get tangled up again. But there we go. Gemstone necklace with marcasites, tons of sterling throughout, versatile, convertible to wear several different ways. Okay, number 23 is some sterling earrings. I think, yeah, there's the 925 mark, and it's just these little dangly teardrops. They have some patina on them. It's not a real even patina, so I will not polish these unless the buyer asks me to, because some people like their sterling patina even if it's not nice and even. So let's test one of these teardrops. Lots of stuff to test. I wasn't really expecting to be testing so much in this video. I love when there are things to test. So there's the teardrop. There's the ear wire. And there we go. Let's see, the ear wire apparently has more sterling in it than the teardrop does. Let's see if we just maybe didn't get a good scratch, because I expected these teardrops to be positive. Let's just confirm that one, because this first teardrop scratch over here is just not looking very definitive, very conclusive, I should say. So yes, that one's more conclusive, and it is sterling. Okay. Well, there we go. Wow. Didn't realize I would be coming across all of this sterling today. So we have these gorgeous wires. I love that curve. It's just a pretty fluid curve to those. That's just a detail that I notice. And then looking close, you can see the patina is not that general overall kind of darkening that sterling gets. It's sort of spotty in places. If you want these polished, I will do that, but you have to request it. If you want these and you want them polished, you have to request it. Otherwise, I will not polish them, just because some people like that patina, and once you take it off, the only way to get it back is time. So the patina actually looks a little, it has kind of a scratchy pattern to it on the front right there. I don't know if you can notice, if you can see that on camera or not. So if you want those polished, do let me know. This is number 23. And let's see, these little sterling earrings are going to be $8. I'm going to list those for $16 if they don't sell here. There we go. Okay, 24. Oh, you know what? Let me bring back 23 because I have Earlene, who's just been waiting to go to work. So here she comes for anybody who needs a heads up about that. Here comes Earlene to model the earrings, the teardrop earrings that I just tested for you. And that's how those will look on. Very elegant. Really like those. I like that. Like it a lot. Very classic, classy, and elegant. And the length on them from the top of the hook to the bottom of the drop is about 1 1/4 inch. Okay, so there we are again, number 23 for $8. So 24 is a ring that is a size about 5 1/4. And since we're on a testing roll, let's go with it. It might be marked, and I haven't looked for that yet, but then again, even if it was marked, I would be testing it just so you could see those test results. And yes, that is positive for sterling. So let's look this over. Size 5 1/4 on this one. Too small for me, but that's, or maybe pinky, a little loose on my pinky maybe. Oh no, actually that's about just right. So it's this rope design, just a simple band with a rope design. Let's see if there's a mark in there. I don't see anything. Nope, I don't see a mark. So just a simple rope design, maybe pinky ring, size 5 1/4, sterling. And that is going to be number 24. And we'll do it for, let's see, $7. So that would go on eBay for $15. And if you're new here, that is sort of my pricing model on my videos. I price things usually for anywhere from maybe 30 to 50% less of what I would list it for on eBay. This is number 25, and it's just a plain band. Too small to go on my thumb. And you know we're about to test some sterling again. Let's see, size about 9 1/2. That's what it looks like on. Has a nice patina on it. It's just a simple band. Let's see if there's a mark in it. No mark. So let's see what the acid test says. The bubbles make it hard to read. Okay, there it is. Positive for sterling. So not a whole lot to say about this one. The size, again, lots of half sizes in this video, about 9.5. Here's that gorgeous patina. And there's no marks inside. But there it is. Okay, this one's number 25. And we're going to do that one for $9. Here we go, 25 for $9. So number 26 is, these are really cool. I got these at the antique store that I go to from time to time. My son's college is near an antique store. So whenever I go down there, I visit them and see what they have. So this looks like maybe it was a vermeil that has worn off, or possibly gold tone. We'll check that in just a minute. I would lean more toward this being a vermeil if this metal underneath is sterling, because it looks gold, but then on this side definitely there's no gold. So whatever was on the outside wore off, but just on this one. On this other one, front and back look good, but on this one side has its golden color and the other side does not. And we're about to find out if that golden color is some probably vermeil or if it's just gold tone. These are nice and heavy. This is a lot of sterling here, or if it is sterling. Let's see, it's going to be hard to get a grip on these while I get a scratch. Let's see, are we looking at our first maybe negative sterling test? We'll see. So let's flip to where there's no golden color and just bead a scratch. That's not going to be sterling. I don't know what that is, but it's not going to be sterling. So this is the bracelet, and this is that bead. And no, they are not sterling, but I don't know what they are. They're a good sterling look, if you want that look. You'll definitely get that look with these, because it looks like a well-aged sterling. And it has some weight to it. They feel nice. That's what they look like on. And there we go. Okay, the size on these is about a 7 3/4 to an 8. And they look really cool. They are metal. They're interlocked bangles. And on these beads, again, on one side, both of them have their, I guess, gold tone. And then on the other side, one of them has it, and one of them is kind of worn with that. But they still look really nice. If you like the look of a well-aged sterling, this will give you that, but it is not actually sterling. That's number 26. And we'll just do those for, let's do those for $3. Okay, and now I have to make a decision to craft or not to craft, because the remainder of my pieces I think are going to all be, oh no, not the remainder. I think I got one more to show. Here it is. So I bought some elements to craft with. So this is going to be a little higher just so I don't lose money, but it's a purse charm. And I saw these really glitzy looking monograms or little initials. And let's see, I haven't crafted with the others, but I also have an R and a, let's see, I have an S and I have a G, and there are others I can get. They had all the letters of the alphabet there. So there's some more I can make. But this is a crystal from a crystal chandelier that at the antique store, and I went and bought some more crystal chandelier pieces, which those are expensive. This one just kind of fell into my lap from somewhere, but when I went to specifically buy those crystal chandelier pendants, I don't know what you call these, but they're pricey to buy. I didn't buy this one. I just had this one already from somewhere. I guess I bought it at some point in the past. This is from that Betsy Johnson bracelet that I made those little blueberry raindrop earrings out of. That bracelet just keeps on giving supplies. So that's what we have, is this nice crystal. It's nice and heavy, completely crystal, shard pendant, like whatever you would call it. Hung that on chain, which stringing these is a job in itself because they aren't drilled straight through. Chandelier pendants they're drilled like in an L shape. So fitting your wire, I don't know if you can tell, that wire is kind of fitted through, like that. Fitting that through there is quite a job without chipping and breaking the crystal. And then I got this little rose bead and attached it on there, and the little C initial, and put all of that on a purse charm hook. And so there she is. Really, really pretty. And I want to make a whole lot of these. The entire length from the top of the hook to the bottom of the crystal is about 5.5 inches. And I left the key ring on there. Whoever buys it can leave that on or take it off. But this, my typical price on eBay for my purse charms that I make is $12. This one would be listed more, just like I said, because I bought new this little initial. So this would probably be listed for $16 on eBay. These I don't do half price. Normally they're $12 on eBay when I list them, but then I sell them for $8 to $10 here on the channel. This one would probably list for $16 to $18. So I'm going to call it number 27. And oh goodness, I don't want to go over the top with you guys. I like to give my viewers and subscribers a great deal, but let's see. I just don't want to go in the hole. So this is going to be, oh goodness. Let's just make it 12. Let's make it the price that it would be on eBay if it wasn't one of these. So $12. If I end up listing this on eBay, if it doesn't sell here and I list it on eBay, it's going to be listed for anywhere from $16 to $18. There we go, 27 for $12. Okay, next, this is from a craft lot that Gigi's Gems sent me, and I'm about to polish it up. At first I thought I would just take it apart and use all these pieces, but I'm going to see if this main heart charm right here polishes up. So I've got my right silver cream, and I put some of it on my cloth. And let's just see what it does. Not a whole lot. Well, actually it is. I just wasn't looking at it. I was looking at the cloth instead of at the heart, because sometimes whatever you're polishing away shows up on the cloth, and sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it's not really showing up on the cloth as much. There you can see it a little bit, but it is shining up, this little heart. And there's a reason I want to polish this up and show it to you and offer it. one of my viewers loves heart jewelry. And I don't know if this one will speak to her or not, but it'll speak to somebody, maybe. It's worn, which I think kind of adds to the charm of this one. And when I'm doing it off camera, like after I've finished filming and everything, if I polish this some more, it may shine up even better. Let's see, let's polish up this part. It's a bracelet. See, a lot's coming off of the bracelet part. I think I may need to load up on some more silver polish right there. Silver cream. There we go. My cloth is just not wanting to cooperate with me. This has got some age to it. Has some patina and wear, and look at all that coming off. I think it's brass. But shining up quite nicely. And honestly, maybe if I had used more cream when I was doing the heart, it maybe would have shined up a lot better too. And I'm going to shine it up some more off camera when I'm done. But look at the difference. I should have given a little close-up of this bracelet part before I started. Okay. And then there are these other little charms that also have patina on them. And they'll all shine up in different ways. I was falling off camera and didn't realize it. Okay. And this one says love. Where is it? There it is. That one says love, and then there's a little key. This will get a lot more shining, or some more shining, after I'm done. Here's a little heart with a keyhole in it. Right there. And then let me get some extra silver cream and go back to that first heart, because there's something I want to show you about this first heart. Yeah, it's shining up, but it's not really leaving much behind on the cloth. Okay, this one will get some more work off camera. But let me put away my silver cream. So we have right here some leather. I have cream on my fingers now, but we have leather right here. And what looks like brass. So here's the bracelet. And let's show you these little charms. So you have this heart that says love on the front. On the back it has a little heart stamped in the center. Then you have this little key. You have this little crown, a heart with a keyhole in it, and you have this puffy heart right here, which is plain on one side. Yeah, pretty scratchy, but may add to the character of it in some people's opinions. But on the other side, it says man up, which I thought was pretty funny. There it is. So I'm going to offer this up because I think it might speak to someone. And if it doesn't, I may end up just taking it apart and crafting with it. We'll see what happens. I kind of hope it speaks to somebody. This is a 9, almost 9 1/4. And there it is, brown leather, brass, and then the hearts and key and crown and the man up heart. So that is, and that came in a craft lot from Gigi's Gems, but it wasn't broken. It just needs some work, or just taken apart and made into other things. So this is number 28, and I'm going to throw it out there. It's going to take a little bit of work, so I'm going to throw it out there for $4 because I'll have to spend some time polishing that one. That one's a really interesting piece. There we go. Okay, number 29. This is a crafty piece, but hopefully it won't be much for you to have to wait through. So, well, some people said they like to watch the craft things. So, here we go. First, I have this thing that has 2 clasps on it. I'm going to take one of these lobster clasps off. I'm about to make a necklace. Sort of a little locket necklace. I can't find the end of this ring. There it is. Sort of a locket necklace. It serves the same purpose as a locket, but it doesn't open and close. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Okay. So right on the end of here, I'll just go ahead and hang a clasp. Since I have it open already in the pliers. So there we go, there's one end already made. And then the other end, I thought I had, oh I do, I have an extender right here that I'm going to attach. To the other end. So it's late for me to be recording the day before the video is supposed to drop. It's what, 4:20 or so? That was a neighbor. If you heard a vehicle just now, that was my neighbor going up the street because he's home from work. So there we go. We have our lobster clasp and our extender. And then here's what we're going to put on this necklace. It's this little, it's a mini photo frame. There we go. And you just have to take the ring off or open up the ring, and then well, actually you might not have to no, you don't have to take the ring off. So you can just stick your finger in here and just slide like that. Slide this paper out and use it as a template to cut your picture to size, and then just slide your picture down in there, just like that. And we're going to put that on here, but I don't want to hang it from one of these paper clip links because that tends to make it not hang nicely. So what I'm going to do is open it up down here at the bottom and put a round link in between. So I'm going to open that one and then open this one. And then I'm going to get a silver tone ring to put in the middle and then hang the heart from the ring. And I'll be right back with that ring. Okay, here it is. I'll have to close it up first. well, actually, I'm not going to close it up first. I'm going to put this pendant on there and then close it up. That's a nice tight closure. And then I'm going to put each side of this, let's see, this needs to go on that side, so it'll be facing the correct direction. Right? Right. If I did it in the wrong direction, or with the wrong side to the right or left, then the lobster clasp would be on the wrong side. You typically want that to be on the right. Okay, that's nice and closed up. And then now I'll hang this side on there. And now that side's on. Okay, and so that's the effect we get, where it'll hang more evenly and nicely than if I just hung it straight from one of those paperclip links. So now we clasp it. And there's our pretty little charm necklace that we can hang a photo in. The drop on this one is, hold on, it's kind of twisted right there. There we go. So the drop is about 8 inches, right at 8 inches. And then you have a 2.5 inch extender, which means a 1 1/4 inch extra length to your drop. And there it is. And you can hang your little picture right there. And again, all you do is just use your finger to scoot this little paper out of there. And then once you get the paper out, use it as a template to cut out the picture that you want to put in, and then just slide the picture right in there. But there it is. That is super, super cute. And that is going to be number 29. And we're going to do number 29 for, let's do that one for $8. This is a little, I bought that little frame. It came in a little set, and I bought a few of those just for this project and for another project. So there we go. The heart, I guess, heart pendant, heart photo pendant for $8, number 29. And now number 30, we'll do another little necklace here. This is a pendant that came in a lot a while back. Here's some paperclip chain, which I'm not really sure what it used to be because it's got this kind of strange little thing right here in the middle. Unless that is the necklace, maybe. I can't really see how a pendant would have hung off of that. It's kind of strange. So I'm going to take that off and then hang this this little flower from there. And I looked in my chain and found some that was pretty close to the same color as the little flower pendant. So I'm going to take off this ring. There we go. And put that aside and take off the other ring. And put that aside. Now I need a ring to complete this project, but this entire necklace is gold tone, and this ring and this weird little bar are silver tone. So those don't really go. So I'm gonna need a little gold tone ring. And I don't have any matte ones, so I'll have to use a shiny one, but I don't think that'll make a big difference because there's a little shiny loop already on this pendant, so I think it'll go nicely. I have lots of different gauges, so I had to pick one that had a small enough gauge, and that refers to how thick the wire is. So I picked a thin enough gauge that it would look nice with the size of these links. It would look weird to put, you know, a big chunky ring with these little delicate paperclip links. So again, the reason I'm even putting a ring is the same reason as the last one. A paperclip link would just not hang nicely with a pendant straight on it. So it's better to, in my opinion, it's better to put a ring to connect the pendant with each end of the paperclip chain. And there we go. Let's close that up. There's a little tiny space. I want to make sure I get that nice and flush, so both ends of that ring are touching each other. There we go. And I really, really like that. Look how cute and sweet. This gorgeous little flower. It looks kind of like an apple blossom. And it's a matte gold tone. I think it's vintage. I think it's very vintage. There's a little touch of green right there, but I can remove that with no problem. So it's a little, probably apple blossom, hanging from this gorgeous paperclip chain. And there we are. That's just so cute. I love that little flower. And then we have a lobster clasp. It was already there. And did I hang it in the right direction? I did. So that's what I was talking about. If I'd hung this facing the wrong way, then when the lobster clasp is on the right, the necklace, the flower would have been like with the back of it facing out when you're wearing it. And since most people fasten, well, I guess there are some lefties out there, but a lot of people fasten lobster clasp with their right thumb so that when they're putting it on, that's where they start kind of, you know, going like that behind their neck. So that is why I want to make sure it faces that direction. If I'm ever making something, like I take commissions, so whenever somebody commissions me to do something, of course, they'll specify if they need the lobster clasp to be on the left, if they're a lefty. So it won't hang like that when they're wearing it, but it'll hang like that. But that is our last item, number 30. And that'll get a little bit of a cleaning. Number 30, and we'll do that one also for $8. And we have lots of crafts, hopefully coming up later in the week. I'm going to try to get very diligent about my crafting. So here we are, number 30. I finished recording and forgot to say thank you so much for joining me, because I appreciate every minute that anyone spends watching my content, and I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy making it for you. Okay, next. This is from a craft lot that Gigi's Gems sent me.